So there was some quite terrible news yesterday. Um, John Spensley was boxing royalty in Middlesbrough on Teesside. Um, so John was he was brought up on so he's from Cannon Park, which I suppose it would be classed as over the border or near enough. Um, Ended up, I dare say, a quite wealthy guy. Um, most people know of the Dickens Inn and Inn off the Park and Spensley's Emporium. And he's sadly no longer with us. He was just close to 85. I had a lot to do with John, particularly the last 8 years of his life. When I first started writing, of course, it was the Paul Sykes books. And nobody knew Sykes better than John. They become very friendly from about 1977 to about 1992. In actual fact, it was down to John and Tommy Miller that he even had a boxing license, because he'd been refused time and time again. And basically, when Sykes got out of prison in March 77, John said to him, "Come and live with me," because of the Yorkshire boxing control, the board. Went entertaining him. So with John, and I think John was on the British Boxing Board then as well, or he was certainly the number one guy in the Northeast. And kind of looked after him, if you like, as much as anyone could look after Paul Sykes. Took him jogging, Saltburn Beach, Stewart's Park. And I have actually seen it when Sykes written his biography. Not quite a biography, because it was from 77 to 79. He signed it. He signed it to John. And he said, "To the greatest man I've ever met." And away from that, John, he did, he was the only guy who ever brought a world title to Middlesbrough at the Town Hall. I think it was about 93. Alfred Cote. Obviously, John was instrumental in bringing Glenn McCrory to Eston Sports Centre. What else did he do? So he was among them all. He met Cedric Kushner. I think one of the very only few guys who ever won a legal court battle with Mickey Duff. Mickey Duff didn't like it when John started doing promotions in London, and very, very sad, But so John's name was quite big. He even had a contract with I don't think it was Sky and MD. I think it was Screen Sport. He had a lot of shows on 70s and the 80s, and probably to about the early 90s, mid 90s. When went over to America with Glenn McCrory, and from a lad from over the border back in the day when Donald Trump, long before he was the not the mayor of America, what was he, president. He was a face in boxing, and John had meetings with him, and very, very sad. I had many, many conversations with John. Of course, on Sykes. Who else? Brian Clough, Mickey Duff, Chubby Brown, Chris Rea. Yeah, John knew everyone, and he was very, very humble, very well liked. And I dare say Middlesbrough, Teesside, is a much duller place without John Spensley. I just spoke to his lovely wife, Linda, and I'm gonna kind of, obviously, when the time's right and the family give me the go ahead, I'm gonna speak to the Gazette and get some kind of tribute. I did speak to John about doing his book. I went to see him in hospital. I think it was earlier this year, and so he lost his nephew a couple of months ago, and I thought I'm not going to bug him. I'll just wait until he rings me, and sadly he never ever did. But lovely man, really really lovely guy. Some of the pictures there. So that's me and John Gardner, and me and John. We had a night out with him a couple of years back, and yeah, I just had so many meetings with him, conversations, and one guy, very very well known guy in Middlesbrough, I won't name him, but he said, "You know what, Jamie? Out of all the people you ever kind of what's the word, interacted with," he said he was the biggest name. He was so humble as well. Some of the things he did and he was involved with, and Sugar Ray Leonard would often come over to Teesside to spend time with John, and yeah, very even as before he was a promoter, he actually fought on the undercard of Henry Cooper and Muhammad Ali at I'm just trying to think where that was, Highbury Arsenal's ground, 1966. Fought Billy Walker, who was a thunderous puncher, and fought him as an amateur. Yeah, just so sad. Really really sad. I did love John's company, and I did a few videos of him over the years, and he kind of gave me a lengthy chapter on Paul Sykes, and he told me all kinds of things about Mickey Duff, which sadly I never got it recorded, but they'll be going in my the Mickey Duff book next year. And yeah, thoughts with the Spensley family, Linda, Tony, yeah, and yeah, what a character, he really put Middlesbrough on the map to in the boxing world, and yeah, really really sad news. Rest in peace, John. Your final bells rang. You can hang up your gloves, and it was an absolute pleasure knowing you. Lovely lovely fella, lovely man, and I hope you rest in peace.